Hi, I'm John Davis, and this is MotorWeek. Join us as we fire up a new season with Jeep's electrified Wrangler 4xe. Pat Goss is reunited with a long-lost MotorWeek project car. Greg Carlos relives his heavy metal glory days at the drag strip. Then it's a track test of Porsche's awesome 911 GT3. So come drive with us next.
MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine, brought to you by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
You're shopping for tires online and you have questions.
I do.
We're TireRack.com and we have answers and tools to help.
Like our tire decision guide. It's, take a look.
TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers, offering a variety of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
Welcome to the start of the 41st season of MotorWeek. We're glad to have you with us. When it comes to old school vehicles that have changed little over time, the first classic that probably comes to mind is the Jeep Wrangler. So it's perhaps the last one you would expect to have an electric charge port. But we all know that things are changing more rapidly these days, and Jeep is fully on board with what battery power can bring to the table, and yes, even to the trail. If there's one model we thought might never make the transition to battery power, it was the Jeep Wrangler. Well, the joke's on all of us, as Jeep is wasting no time embracing the electrified future with this 2021 Wrangler 4xe, the first of 3 plug-ins planned for this year. The main thing to know about this plug-in hybrid is that it still drives just like a Wrangler. The biggest difference is it can run almost silently on battery power, not something we're used to in a rugged utility like this. Now, it's not as powerful feeling as most full EVs or even some other PHEVs, as the gas engine seems to kick in to help out whenever you go full throttle. The 4xe is rated for 22 miles of EV-only driving, and you can select when to use it. We saw as many as 26 miles available on the gauge and got fairly close to achieving that. Once you've exhausted those EV miles, hybrid mode transitions from electric to gas are mostly seamless, only really hearing the engine under hard acceleration. The one noticeable downside to the whole experience is that you can really hear the HVAC system buzzing when driving on strictly battery power. The 4xe's 17 kilowatt-hour battery is located inside the vehicle, packaged beneath the rear seat, leaving cargo space intact, as well as keeping it out of the elements. It feeds energy to a pair of electric motors, one replacing the alternator on the front of the engine, and one integrated into the 8-speed automatic transmission. No manual available with this plug-in powertrain. The gas engine is Jeep's 2-liter i4 turbo, which when combined with the electric motors, sees the total output jump to a healthy 375 horsepower with a stout 470 pound-feet of torque. So it was off to Mason-Dixon Dragway to see what the 4xe is capable of. Even though the 2.0 turbo felt a bit laggy off the line, with battery boost, the 4xe is capable of 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. Indeed, that's about a second faster than a Wrangler with a gas V6. The Turbo 4 comes into its own at the higher end of the tack. Automatic shifts are quick and smooth, and like all Wranglers, it tends to wander a bit at high speeds. The quarter mile, 15 seconds at 93 miles per hour. Now, no vehicle designed with off-pavement use as a priority is going to tear up a slalom course, and the copious amounts of body roll and numb steering felt here had us feeling like we were one bad move away from trouble. But having driven plenty of Wranglers over the years, we knew to back off way before approaching that danger zone. And also know there are plenty of safety measures in place these days to keep that from happening as well. In the transition to PHEV status, there have been no compromises of the Wrangler's trail-rated capabilities. Four-wheel drive with two-speed transfer case is still standard. Now, Jeep claims the integration of electric power only enhances the Wrangler's off-road performance. To find out for ourselves, we made use of the e-save mode while on the pavement to hit the trail under strictly battery power, allowing us to tread more lightly than ever. When it comes to our muddy mid-Atlantic, local trail hounds will tell you you're only as good as your tires. And our Sahara trim tester struggled to find grip at times, but was mostly unstoppable thanks to its SelectTrack four-wheel drive system. So on we went. In addition to a charge port at the base of the left A-pillar, 4xe Wranglers get special electric blue trim, but not much else to set it apart from every other modern Wrangler. Government fuel economy ratings are 20 combined, 49 combined for the MPGe. Starting off with a full charge, we average 31 miles per gallon on regular, which beats what we got in the Wrangler EcoDiesel by 2.5 miles per gallon, and delivers a much better than average energy impact score of 8.7 barrels of yearly oil use with 3.8 tons of CO2 emissions. 4xEs are available exclusively as unlimited 4 doors in 3 trims: Sahara, High Altitude, and even Rubicon, starting at $51,300 before any government tax incentives. It only seems fitting for a brand that relies on a vehicle that was designed in the mid-20th century would use that vehicle to fully push the brand into the 21st. Is it a full EV? No. Is it a huge step in that direction? Yes. The 2021 Jeep Wrangler 4xe is the most technically advanced Jeep yet, and a whole new way to be a pioneering off-road leader. Our new performance testing venue, Mason-Dixon Dragway in Boonesboro, has been a speed demon hotspot for Maryland and the entire Mid-Atlantic for longer than we've been on the air. And this week, our over-the-edge guy, Greg Carlos, makes his way out there, not for numbers, but for nostalgia.
Who doesn't love a walk down memory lane? Well, today at Mason-Dixon Dragway, memory lane is a prep drag strip, and not everyone's walking.
This is the 8th annual Nostalgia Meet, and it's pretty well attended.
Pretty well attended may be an understatement. The place is packed with people who came for cars, speed, and memories.
We have some drivers here that are probably 40 and 50 years ago they were racers, so it's all about them. It's all about the older cars, and we also have a nostalgia class for the older cars. So there's a little bit of everything for somebody here today.
Mason-Dixon Dragway officially opened in 1961, so the track itself is a piece of drag racing history. And as the morning cloud cover moves east over the mountains, racers roll in while the sun shines on the car show. The show is open to all makes, all models, and all eras, but as you might expect, vintage cars still dominate the field.
I mean, you'll see things that, you would never thought you would see. Something maybe out of the movies or something that you grew up to.
And it takes you back to the past, and a lot of the guys, they actually feel younger. I think when you see them, when they're smiling at you, when they're looking at their cars.
Meanwhile, there's plenty of smiles just off the track with a group of lead-footed legends.
Oh, they're calling it a funny car reunion. So the cars from the 1970s that were funny car drivers and crew members, they're up in the age anywhere from 84 years old up into their early 90s. And to get together, to get 50 of them together at one time, it will be a pretty difficult task in the future. So this is a great opportunity for those people to see each other one last time.
And Maryland native Tom Sneeden is a driver many of the fans came to see.
I started racing in 1952. I've raced quite a few, anything from super stockers to funny cars, fuel funny cars. I was well known through the country.
I think it's everybody's personal favorite because they always get to see somebody they haven't seen for 10 or 15 years, and they do a lot of what they call bench racing, where they talk about everything that when John got beat by Phil or you know, just everything that ever happened to him in the line of drag racing.
While some may be here for the bench racing, Tom brought his Dodge Coronet Superstock for the real racing. And with 274 cars registered, there's plenty of it.
I believe that drag racing began when the second car was made, and that's a Bill Wilkins statement. The human nature is to be competitive.
Even as the sun starts to set on the cars and the drivers from drag racing's heydays, Elmer is keeping the pedal down toward the future.
We have a junior dragster race, which is kids from 6 years old to 18 years old before they get their license. We will find something that the people want to be entertained by, and we've changed up with their street racing. We've added some index classes because people like to see heads-up racing, side-by-side racing. So we're doing well.
And that means the good times will keep on rolling at Mason-Dixon Dragway.
Everyone enjoys a surprise once in a while, as long as it's not an unexpected car problem. And our Pat Goss is no different. So this week we reunite Pat with a blast from his past. Well, hello, Pat Goss.
Well, hi, John.
Welcome to another exciting day at Goss's Garage.
Okay.
And we've got a little surprise for you, Pat, something that's been 30 years in the making.
Oh, Lord.
Look this way.
Oh, my God.
Remember the Maxton?
Yes, I do.
Oh. Well, Pat, come on. We have got it all planned out. You and the Maxton are up for a huge reunion. And you're going to get this baby going again.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
John, I remember back in the day when we actually built this car. We did a 5-part series on putting it together and making it what it is.
That was really the first time that I had ever been involved in essentially building a car. This was a component car at the time. You got the body, you got the chassis, but you basically put it together yourself.
Oh yeah, I remember the wiring in this was a nightmare, actually.
Had you ever built a car before?
Well, I'd built cars, but I started from the ground up myself and doing the whole thing, which is very different than buying parts and putting them together.
What do you remember about those days? I mean, it was 30 years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday.
Well, I remember a lot of the things that weren't quite right that we had to adjust and tweak and things like that, which anybody that's going to build a car should be prepared for.
Now, this car actually became part of a contest that MotorWeek had, and the winner of that contest was all the way down in the Florida Keys. Yep. Remember, we took it down there.
I sure do.
And a lady had entered the contest for her husband, and he was surprised, wasn't he?
He didn't know that he had entered or won.
And the fact it had how many pedals?
He looked inside it, and he says, oh my God, it's got 3 pedals. And had no idea what to do with 3 pedals and a gear shift.
Oh my. And then a friend of ours, Michael Whitfield, back here in Owings Mills, not too far from our studios, he bought the Maxton, brought it back up. He raced it very successfully, but this car has been sitting sheltered inside a garage for the last 25 years.
Well, it still looks good.
So what do you say, Pat? Are you up to getting the Maxton back on the road again?
Absolutely, and I'd love to get behind the wheel again.
I can't wait. So there you have it. Stay tuned for the rebirth of the Maxton.
The 2021 Subaru Crosstrek Sport is the best Crosstrek yet, having improved greatly over its 8 years. With us for 4 months, we're starting to build miles as the odometer currently sits at 5,500 and noticing that it has grown into a really great highway cruiser. Yet it still has plenty of character, which is also a way of saying that while it has matured, it remains a little rough around the edges, most notably when it comes to the auto stop-start system, which really rocks the boat when it brings the engine to life. That engine is, of course, a flat 4. Here in the Crosstrek Sport, the upgraded, naturally aspirated 2.5-liter rated at 182 horsepower and delivering us a 28.6 miles per gallon average.
The Crosstrek is yet another Subaru model that has attracted a group of die-hard loyalists, and now living with this one on a daily basis, we're reminded why. Sure, there's the versatility and all that, but its smooth road manners are underrated. Now, they just have to smooth out that auto stop-start system.
A new season means some new long terms. Stay tuned for updates on this 2021 Toyota Prius Prime PHEV, which just arrived on our lot, on the next MotorWeek long-term road test update.
Time to catch up on the latest motor news with Lauren Morrison.
Electric vehicles may still make up a small percentage of the cars on the road today, but EVs are gaining speed. Electric vehicle registrations in the U.S. more than doubled in the first half of 2021 from last year. They now make up almost 2.5% of new vehicle registrations. Tesla still dominates the electric market, accounting for about 2/3 of new EV registrations, with Chevrolet and their Bolt EV coming in second, and thanks to its Mustang Mach-E, Ford cracked the top 3. Acura announcing they're bringing back a sporty, legendary nameplate, the Integra. They've only given us this teaser sketch of the new Integra, which reveals angular styling in keeping with current Acura themes, but they say more details will be released closer to its 2022 reveal. The Integra was one of 2 models in the original product lineup when Honda first launched the Acura brand in 1986. We were behind the wheel then, and we can't wait to get behind the wheel of this latest rebirth. Kia embracing the at-home attitude that most of us have gotten used to, joining the ranks of car retailers promoting bringing test drives to you. With their Kia at-home experience, Kia will deliver 2 of their latest models, the all-new Carnival multi-purpose vehicle and the all-electric Niro EV, to you for a test drive. Kia says this is the perfect way for potential buyers to get behind the wheel in their own environment. The hour-long experience includes a detailed walk-around from a Kia at-home drive specialist, but if the customer is actually interested in buying the vehicle, they'll have to work with a local dealership. Kia is only testing out this new way to car shop for a limited time and in select cities. And that does it for this week's Motor News.
If you're tired of hearing about Ford's new all-electric Mustang Mach-E SUV and feel that real Mustangs have 2 doors and big V8s, have we got a must-read for you. Cobra Jet, the history of Ford's greatest high-performance muscle cars. The original 428 Cobra Jet Mustang was the product of Ford's 1960s Total Performance Racing program. But Cobra Jet quickly became synonymous with drag racing success and was the Mustang to have if you lived your life a quarter mile at a time. Authors Rob Keenan and Diego Rosenberg tell not only how it all got started, but where Cobra Jet went from there, with lots of great photography along for the ride. It's a high-performance must-read for any fan of the Blue Oval. Porsche is justifiably famous for refining their 911 models to squeeze out every last bit of performance possible. So the spec sheet on this 911 GT3 is filled with small improvements that lead to big gains in handling and driving dynamics. Sounds like a track test is certainly in order. Porsche fans know that there are 2 distinct families of 911, the Carrera family and the GT family. And while they both fly the Porsche flag and have many similarities, the GT family is packed full of a lot more racing technology from Porsche Motorsports. And this 7th generation 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 without a doubt sets a new level of performance for the 911. Up front is a new fascia with larger air intakes that hide a wider track to add stability and sharpen turn-ins. A first for any 911 street car, the front suspension is a double wishbone design adapted from the 911 RSR. And all bushings have been dropped in favor of full ball joints, removing any hint of sloppiness from the equation and allowing Porsche to fine-tune for maximum responsiveness as well as transmit road feel directly to the driver's hands. Curb weight is up only 11 pounds over the previous GT3, 3,164 pounds when PDK equipped as our test car was. Drive mode settings are now accessed right on the GT3's new 3-spoke steering wheel and have normal, sport, and track modes as expected, but are also tunable within each mode. A full menu of choices allows the driver to adjust suspension, traction control, and stability management settings on the fly. And fly we did, reaching the blind crest of Summit Point Motorsports Park's Shenandoah Circuit's Bridge Straight at over 130 miles per hour and feeling like we were launching into orbit. But the GT3 always returned to Earth with a soft, controlled landing and set itself up perfectly for the abrupt drop into the carousel turn that comes up ever so quickly. Corner exit understeer is virtually eliminated here. The car goes exactly where you point it. So if creating precise arcs around the corners of a racetrack is your thing, this is about the best tool we've found yet for that job. You don't necessarily need to upgrade to Porsche's excellent ceramic composite brakes, as the standard discs are larger than the last GT3 by more than an inch. But if you insist on the best of everything, you won't mind spending the extra money to enjoy brakes that get better and better at dragging you down from insane speeds the more you use them. Or should we say, abuse them. And in straight line testing, a mere 85 feet was needed to stop from 60. A surprisingly large percentage of buyers opted for a manual trans in the previous GT3, and a no-cost 6-speed manual remains available. But after spending a day with the standard 7-speed PDK's mind-reading adaptability and lightning-fast gear changes, we'd be hard-pressed to trade away the obvious gains in performance it delivers just for the joys of stirring a shifter ourselves. We were very happy to see that the GT3 is still sporting its naturally aspirated 4-liter flat-six engine. Coming over almost directly from the GT3 Cup race car, this latest version gets the revised intake first found on 2019's Speedster and shares its output of 502 horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque. The GT3 is, of course, built for road course work first and foremost, but is more than tolerable on the street. Running quarter miles is somewhere further down the list of priorities. Still, a trip to Mason-Dixon Dragway was in order. Many years of flawless, consistent launches with Porsche's PDK launch control has made it the gold standard in our eyes. But this time, we did battle some unexpected wheel spin. Still, our advice, stick with it. When all the stars align, you will be rewarded with a lightning-fast 2.8 seconds from 0 to 60. Once it laid down power in earnest, it was all rocket-like propulsion down the rest of the track, with blazing fast PDK shifts that make no attempt at being smooth, just deliberate. The quarter mile ends in 10.9 seconds at 127 miles per hour. Not surprisingly, the GT3's interior is mostly all business and looks great. If track days are on your agenda, we recommend springing for the full bucket seats. You'll appreciate the rump-to-road connection, feeling locked in and ready for track work. Plus, they're plenty tolerable on the street. Not for the light-end wallet, the Porsche 911 GT3 in both winged and the non-winged touring version starts at $162,450. The 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 is arguably the most versatile 911 ever built. Nimble and civilized on the street, while also being laser-focused perfection on the track. It's a wonderfully best of both worlds scenario that doesn't come along that often.
Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, for more MotorWeek, including daily news updates, podcasts, and even complete episodes, cruise on over to pbs.org/MotorWeek. And I hope you'll join us next time. We'll find out if the new Nissan Pathfinder really returns to its roots. Then check out Volkswagen's new small utility, the Taos. Pat Goss has a warning about the rise in car part thefts, while Stephanie Hart takes a bus ride through history. Till then, I'm John Davis. We'll see you right here on MotorWeek.
To learn more about MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine, visit pbs.org/MotorWeek. To order a DVD of this program, call 1-800-873-6154. MotorWeek has been brought to you by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
You're shopping for tires online and you have questions.
I do.
We're TireRack.com and we have answers and tools to help.
Like our tire decision guide. It's, take a look.
TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers, offering a variety of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.
You're watching PBS.